Joined by Swift Current Broncos head coach Devan Praught. Devan, hey, tell you what, as we speak right now, you're 24 plus hours away from starting the preseason. But just give me a sense of what the excitement level, the anticipation level is like in that dressing room as you guys break camp here.
Yeah, for sure. It's always exciting to get back into the rink, get back around the guys. There's a lot of energy in that, and there's a buzz in the community. Where there's an excitement about this year's group, and hats off to the guys. They've showed up from day one. They did a great job with their off-ice testing, and camp has a different feel to it this year. There's a level of intensity and compete that we're really excited about for our group. So proud of our guys.
Yeah, I get a sense, just in chatting with a couple of your players, another year older, another year wiser, and just kind of willing to kind of move on from years past and kind of forge a new identity here in Swift Current.
Yeah, that's the goal. We've talked here and we've had a vision, and it's time to make that a reality in our day to day and the decisions we make. And we've had a lot of growth over the last 2 years as a group, and we feel we're ready to push it to that next level. And we had a chip on our shoulder 2 years ago, and it might be more of a boulder after last year as well, kind of coming down the last 2 years, last game of the season to get into the playoffs. But it's all experience for our guys. We played a lot of meaningful games down the stretch, and there's a lot of pride in that room. We anticipate a group that's going to come out and look to play the right way right from the start of the season because, we've had a couple long off seasons of looking back, and you can date it back to sometimes in September. 2 points that might have cost you there at the end of the day. So we've had a lot of, as I say, learning experiences and growth as a group, and I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am with the guys underneath me and the players that we have and the job that they've done to show up here. And I'm very excited for the season ahead.
I know a roster is built on more than just NHL prospects, but even when you look at the NHL guys on your roster, I really get a sense of balance from your group. With just leadership and skill, kind of in all three, kind of right, defense, forwards, and in goal as well. What would you say? What would you speak to your group's kind of sense of balance and just being a well-rounded unit?
Yeah, no, we feel good about our group. There's been a progression in our depth and where we've progressed here in the last couple of years. And we've really seen a kind of core group of 04s mature into being into that leadership roles and being the older guys in the team. And we've had draft picks and list players that have come in and done a great job and established themselves as day-to-day players. And there's just a real feel that guys aren't coming in with summer habits and reverting back to some things they did before they got here. They're really building off their game and where they left off and things that we were asking them to do. So they're taking a lot of pride in the 200-foot and the details. And we felt we're a group that had the offense and scored goals, and we got to take a little bit more pride on the defensive side of the puck and limit the quality scoring chances that we give up night in and night out. And that's been a mindset here from day one, and the guys have done a great job. And we feel a very balanced attack up and down the lineup. We're strength in net, strength on the back end, and through the depth up front. So very fortunate and excited for the season.
Speaking with Josh Philman, north of 45 goals a year ago, right, and a New Jersey prospect, but just get the sense that this is a guy that wants to be a leader on your group, and even asking him about the opportunity to go and test out the pro waters at the end of last season. The first thing he said to me was, playing at that level exposes the things you need to work on in your game, as opposed to just, relishing the experience, right? Just speak to maybe his mindset as a leader and just, what he brings to your group, not just on it, but off it as well.
Yeah, I think it kind of mimics the growth of our team. Josh came in. I wasn't with the team in the bubble through that experience, but I was with him the next year, and he's working on establishing himself as a player in the league, and he was a goal scorer. He had a lot of success with that, and came back last year, and there was a real maturation and growth in him of just leadership in the team dynamic and how the team's doing. And he's a vocal guy. He'll speak on the bench. He'll speak in the dressing room, and when he talks, other guys are going to listen. And that's just growth of kind of worrying about establishing himself in the league, and now really establishing the team and taking that growth, in that final result as a group. And Josh is a special player. He's got a knack for finish and around the net. He's got a great release and explosive speed. And, he's put a lot of work into his game. And we feel fortunate to have the prospects that we did be able to experience that pro hockey in the spring last year. And man to man, they came back just with a lot of great growth experience of hockey at that next level. And we're excited for them to share that in the room here.
The Broncos went out and made a pretty sizable move toward the end of the summer, Devin. And in that move, you acquired a local kid, right? In Ryan McCleary, who comes over from Portland, a 20-year-old defenseman now, and a guy that has had a bit of pro camp experience and has gone through kind of the rigors involved with that. But just tell me about, what he brings to your room, both in terms of, being a local player that, fans can rally around and take pride in the community and whatnot, but also just kind of on the ice as a leader as well.
Yeah, certainly. There's a little bit of a bridge between Ryan and our local prospects. We have some local prospects coming up through the works here that we're very excited about. And to bring Ryan in, we feel that he really complements our decor and our team overall. There's a consistency in Ryan's demeanor. There's no bad days. He shows up to the rink. He's a great teammate. He takes the ice. There's a consistency in his effort. And those are the things that guys need to learn and be around as well. And he plays both sides of the puck very well, offensively and defensively, and he showed well here in camp, and we're just really excited to have him in our lineup.
You talk about some of the younger guys on your group of player that you had last year, and among your forwards that, in just kind of speaking to Josh recently, just has kind of grown and matured and developed over the summer, as well as Clark Caswell. And just tell me about him and just how he's come into camp, maybe a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, a little bit wiser ahead of a second full season in the league.
Yeah, for sure. Clark is he's a very intelligent player. He's a smart individual. He's in the right spots. And he does everything well. He's on the forecheck. He tracks hard. He plays both sides of the puck, and he sees the ice extremely well. He has offensive upside, and we're just expecting him to, build off that foundation of a solid 16-year-old season and see that growth into his 17-year-old year. And early here in camp, it's been very impressive with him. And as I say, he's a guy that he's one of the first one that picks up any little tweak or implement that we have structurally. He's very, very smart, high IQ guy, and we're very excited for Clark's season.
You talked to lastly, you talked about the excitement level in town in Swift Current, and you know, uh, certainly reason to be excited, right? Just given the look of your roster and the makeup of it, and just where you're at in the cycle. I know you weren't around in 2018, but you look at the footage, right, from those games in the Innovation Plex, and it was crazy. And I mean, just give me a sense of how you can use, as a smaller market team in the league, how you can use that community support maybe as a rallying point for your group, if and when adversity does come along the way.
Yeah, for our guys, there's we're the ticket in town, and that's exciting for our guys. They're known wherever they go. They're stopped by fans to chat about our team, and yeah, there's just a real buzz in the community that this is a year that the team progresses, and we're looking forward to playing on home ice in front of our crowds. They do a great job. They inject energy for us, and we're hoping it's one of those years we saw a lot of cowbells. We'll hear the cowbell rocking here in the Innovation Plex.